Just avoid the bad PR. Avoid the bad press. Which brings me, nervous. Athens Clark County Police Department. I called him Clowney. My bad. Athens Clark County Police Department. Let's talk about this. I know the police department in Athens has a job to do. Okay. But let's just try. Let's just try to do it without all the total backlash possible. After all, police forces are there to protect and serve the community. So let's talk about what happened this weekend in Athens. Sacovie White, a freshman wide receiver at the University of Georgia, was driving the wrong way down East Clayton Street in downtown Athens at 3 o'clock in the morning. Probably not something you should do. Probably a reasonable mistake. Okay. As he's driving down East Clayton, read the police report this morning. As he's driving down East Clayton, a one-way street, driving the wrong way, there is a police officer not hidden. He's parked. I shouldn't call him hidden. He's parked in between two buildings on East Clayton Street. You know why? Because they've had a problem with people driving down this one way and hitting individuals, hitting citizens while they're driving down that one way, because you shouldn't be driving down the one way in the middle of the night. Okay, so this police officer is parked right there. As Sacovie's car goes by him, he pulls out, stops him right there in front of the Georgia Theater. Now, we have a 19-year-old individual driving a car with a person hanging out the window. Probably shouldn't be doing that either. Okay, some recklessness going on. However, we pull this individual over. We see no signs of alcohol, no signs of drugs, no weapons. Driver does not seem to be inebriated. Driver does not seem to be anything other than a person who made a mistake of driving down a one-way. 9 times out of 10, every time I've heard a story like this story ends with that person getting a ticket, for reckless driving or not, but that person getting a ticket and being told, hey, this is a one-way. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't do this. Go home. Pay your ticket. Your court date is such and such. It's not what happened here. Okay? What happened here was Sacovie White ultimately gets booked, processed, taken to jail, bonded out for $26 for reckless driving. Now, I could sit here and say, oh, bad PR, yada, yada, yada. But here's the reality of the situation. That police officer that arrested Sacovie White was given orders. We need to say, I'm not saying directly, I'm just hypothesizing here. Obviously a sensitive subject, you can tell by how I'm doing this. They were obviously giving some type of directive. Hey, we got people driving down this one way. We've had a couple citizens hit. The next time something happens like this, we need to make sure that person is not necessarily made an example of, but we can't have this happening anymore. So let's put a squad car there. Let's make sure no one does it. Let's make sure we set an example out of the first person that does. Unfortunately, that first example was Sacovie White. Is what it is. I'm not mad, to be honest with you. I don't think the arrest was out of the ordinary. I think that police officer was doing what he was told to do. Probably unwillingly. Probably didn't even want to do it. I mean, how goofy do you have to feel to arrest a 19-year-old for driving on the wrong side of the road at 3 o'clock in the morning? Probably felt goofy. Here's my problem. I got a real problem with this one. Okay? My problem is anybody with a brain reading what happened to Sacovie White or doing any type of investigation on what happened to Sacovie White Saturday and reporting it the way some people reported it on Sunday morning. Because it made me sick. It made me sick to report this as, quote, another Georgia player arrested for reckless driving. That was the report. That was the headline of the first several articles that came out about this. When that can't be any further from the reality of the situation. That is what he was booked for. But the reality of the situation is a 19-year-old who moved to that county 6 months ago, drove the wrong way down a road, completely sober, completely without drugs or alcohol or anything in the car, and was made an example out of, booked for $26, and then sent home. By the way, if you'd done any type of reporting, you would have known that, not that it matters, Sacovie White was at church at 9 o'clock that next morning. You didn't do that, though, did you? You just reported it as another Georgia player arrested. I think it's gross. I think it's gross because it was a nothing story. It's absolutely a nothing story. That everybody, not everybody, a couple of people in our beat sensationalized for clicks. And here's what I'm telling you. I got the data. I didn't sensationalize the headline yesterday when I tweeted it out. You know what I tweeted it out? The story. Young football player drives down one way, wrong way, gets arrested for it, booked for $26. No, I'm not kidding. It did numbers on Twitter yesterday with the real story right there. But nah, we had to write it as if someone was driving 130 miles an hour down the road and got booked for reckless driving. Horse shit. I'm going to be honest with you. Every single person listening to this right now that is a Georgia fan, it's a bunch of y'all. Appreciate y'all for being here. Every single one of y'all listening to this right now, I know you truly love and care about that university. I know y'all love and care about every player that comes out and puts that red and black on. And here's what I'm telling you. Be very, very careful with who you choose to give your clicks to, because some of them are sensationalizing headlines to draw you in to click on them.
We went on what? 40 minutes?
40 minutes
40
straight.
minits.
It's 41 minutes.
No water either.
None.
Not a sip of water? None.
There it is.
Cooked. Nothing but cooked.
I got some shit.
He's shaking. Oh, shit.
Running to me, brother. Nah, man. Some of y'all are getting in with the wrong title, man. It ain't hard to search who these people were. The tweets are still out. They didn't delete them. Go look at the bylines. And here's what I know, because I've been around here long enough. Ain't no editor-in-chief looking over those things. Ain't nobody changing them headlines. That was a rushed news story that people were put in charge to write, and they chose the titles that they did. You know what? I've never done this. I don't even speak about this guy's name. Rodney Nabolsi, I appreciate the way you covered that story on Saturday or Sunday morning. I do, because no one else did it except for us. Told the real story. So I appreciate you, Roddy, because I was made sick. I'm sitting upstairs with my wife, and I see the story hit my timeline at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, damn, another Georgia player arrested. And then I read the article. Some bitch went down the wrong road, sober, and got taken to jail. Again, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the police officer doing what he was told to do, doing what he was directed to do. I'm mad at you, guy. I'm mad at you, guy, that wrote that one like that, because that's horse shit. Welcome in. Hey, want to give a quick shout